There we go. But anyway. Hey, Tim. How's it going, buddy? My friend Tim. Outstanding husband. Great person. Great friend. Couldn't ask for a better person to know. Yeah, sometimes I like to talk about my friends when they're on there just so they know they're important, but I mean everything I say because, like I said, this is not a news broadcast and I don't have anything planned. I just like people knowing that they're important. I don't think that's a bad thing. And, so, okay, it is 8:58. 2 more minutes and we'll get started. Yeah, the book I'm reading right now. Oh, I'm reading a couple of them right now because I read more than 10 pages a day. But I've been reading the one by J.C. Watts. I started reading this last night. Dig Deep. Like I said, we're gonna get started at 9 o'clock. It's not 9 o'clock yet, but we're just waiting out for everybody to get on live. So we will start at 9 o'clock. I'll read the intro to the J.C. Watts Jr. He played football for Oklahoma State. He was a congressman. Whether everything's going your way or you're struggling to get through the day, the keys, says J.C. Watts, is knowing how to dig deep. As a star quarterback, congressman, pastor, now business leader, Watts has lived in the area most of his life. In this inspiring but practical guide, he shares the secrets to digging deep, going beyond the excuses and the blame game, and finding your inner reservoirs of inspiration, character, strength, and motivation. With God's grace, you can ignore the roar of the crowd and stay true to Christ, to your neighbors, and to yourself. Growing up in a small Oklahoma town still haunted by the legacy of segregation, Watts learned about hard work, integrity, and grit from his parents, who gave him the most precious gift of all, his faith in God. But when he found himself the sixth-string quarterback at the University of Oklahoma, he wanted to quit. Fortunately, his coaches wouldn't let him, teaching him more about digging deep. Those lessons helped him again in politics, which he soon discovered is a blood sport that can make football look like a cakewalk. Watts knows that the experience he writes about are his own, but everyone needs to learn to dig deep among the invaluable insights he shares. So, anyway, this is one of the books I'm reading right now. And, okay, it's 9 o'clock. We will go ahead and get started then. I hope everybody's having a great day today. That's what the whole purpose of today is to make sure everybody is having a fantastic day. And they don't place blame on anybody but themselves for whatever they have to do. Okay? Anyway, if anybody needs any prayers or anything tonight, let me know. This isn't really a prayer thing. This is just basically a little bit of motivation to let everybody know that you're important. But it's also to let us remember what's important in life. Tonight I had my daughter. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to see, you can go back on my Facebook and look. We're reading Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator right now. Now, why is that important? You know, when you read to your kids and you watch their facial expressions, their emotions and stuff like that, you know, you can really learn a lot about your own children just by reading to them or letting them read to you. Because when you let them read to you, and that's what I'll let my daughter do this weekend, they always want insight. And that's how a lot of people are. They're looking for insight. They're looking for guidance. And I like to go back to my daughter thinking that my daughter likes to have a little guidance and insight. You know, I'm her dad, but if you ever notice with our kids, as they're growing up, as they're getting older, they become more dependent. They're not quite ready for you to let them go. But man, they want to venture to that next step. They want to venture. Now bear with me. I got a purpose for this. Our kids push a little bit each year, a little bit more. They want to see what they can get away with. But they also, I don't think it's to try to get in trouble. What our kids are doing when they're doing this, and what a lot of new parents need to learn, is each year our kids are testing the waters for themselves. They're seeing what they're able to do. They're sitting one foot in front of the other. You know, first they kind of wiggle. And then they kind of, you know, they do the belly crawl walk. And then they start the crawl. And eventually they learn to stand up. Then they learn to walk. Then they learn to run. But they only go so far. Then they learn steps. Then they learn to swim. And they get a little closer. They want to learn to dive. So you start holding them over. And they're like, don't let go of me yet. Don't let go of me. Eventually we just shove them in. But the point is, they're testing their boundaries. And that's how people are. And we forget that the reason why people do that when they first meet us, or when we first tell them about something. Remember, this week's about trust. And if you show people, they're not going to do too much with you at first. They're going to have a little faith in you, but they don't trust you. And what they're doing is they're going to test the waters. Is this person going to help me swim? Or is this person going to push me off the deep end? And you see all this negativity online. You see negativity on the news. You see negativity everywhere. That negativity is a trust factor. Okay? They're sitting there trying to get out that why they don't trust. Well, here's what they're not understanding. Every time you put something negative out there about something that didn't work out for you, and you're letting the world know, it just means that you can't be trusted. Because it's about you. It becomes about you. I find myself in these bad problems sometimes too. We want to do good by others, but how is treating people like crap being good by others, How is not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance or for the national anthem, how is that doing anything for anybody to help anybody? Okay, the national anthem was created years ago for something that has nothing, you cannot make a stand against something that so many people have died for. Every day we find ourselves between being kind to people, ignoring people, or trying to walk away from people. And every day, it's a trust factor. It's a trust. How close do we want to get to somebody? When we're kind to people, that means we want them to trust us. We want them to know that we really do care about their well-being. No, we don't have money to give them, but that doesn't mean you cannot have a kind word to give them. That doesn't mean you can't go up and thank a military man or woman, a veteran, and for their service that they done. Okay? A lot of people think the only time to thank a veteran or to thank an active duty military personnel is on Veterans Day. Okay? Not Memorial Day, people. Memorial Day is for those that have already died. A lot of vets will put out there, do not thank me on Memorial Day. It's kind of like, there's 2 days, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, the only time we ever thank anybody. No, you know what you need to do? When you know of a veteran, you know of a police officer, you know of a firefighter, a teacher, you need to know what you need to do. You just need to walk up to them, shake their hand, and say thank you. If you're a germaphobe or something, just tell them thank you. And that means more to somebody on days that are not designated for theirs. Now, this week is the National Truck Driver Appreciation Week. Okay? They get an entire week so we can tell them thank you. Why? For 52 weeks out of the year, these truck drivers are on and off the road, driving, hauling our goods and services to stores, doing stuff from the factories, whatever needs to be hauled from point A to point B. Sometimes from point A to point B to point C to point D, back to point A again. And they have families of their own. So let's make sure we thank our truck drivers out there this week. Let's make sure that you walk up to a truck, bring them a water or something. Make sure to thank these truck drivers, because all that stuff you use, a truck driver got it to where it's at. A truck driver got it to where it needs to go. So let's make sure we thank a truck driver and stuff. Now back to my point about trust. With all these people that are hurting on the inside, they don't trust anybody anymore. They don't trust their own emotions. They don't trust their own feelings. They don't trust who they are. They have what's called a failure to adapt to society. It's a real cause. Look it up. Failure to adapt to society. And there'll be other people that agree with me. They feel like they're not good enough anymore. They feel like they have let not just themselves down, but others down. They feel helpless. They feel vulnerable. Now, everybody's got their own reasons for it. This PTSD, if you don't think it's a real condition, that it's something made up, then you need to spend some time with some of these people. My brothers and sisters are out there hurting tonight. And over 22 of them are not going to wake up tomorrow. Every day I say this, over 22 of them are not going to wake up tomorrow. But we can stop that by letting them know we care. You know what? Our own government does not care about us right now. I'm sorry, they don't. They put us on the toilet paper list and all the VAs. Now, there's a couple really good VAs out there, and there's a couple really great nurses and doctors and stuff at those VAs, but there's other ones that the suicide rates in Illinois, the suicide rate for the VA in Illinois, I think is the highest in the nation. When people get told, because they got to have their government stats and everything else, oh yeah, we're doing this, this, and this, then you find out that those are just numbers. They're just putting that on there, but no one's ever gotten helped. And the people that need help, I talked to a World War II vet the other day. He can't even afford his meds. He needs 17 different types of medication. And almost every single time, the VA comes up half short. And he has to go buy it on his own. He's got to find a way to buy those meds that he needs on his own. And when I told him thank you and that he was a hero and everything, I was the first person to ever tell him that. And it breaks my heart because these World War II vets are dying every day. You know, they were called the greatest generation. There's a reason why they're called the greatest generation. You know, they're what caused the baby boomers. Those baby boomers are retiring right now. But why did the baby boomers come about? It's because of the greatest generation. We took care of our men and women from World War II. Okay? We did, you know, think about all the Rosie the Riveters out there while our boys were over fighting. You know, we fought 2 battlefronts. America was strong. And then we got out. Once the war was over, we got out. Now, we at least stayed in Germany for a little while. But how long did it take for the Berlin Wall to come down? It took Reagan to get the Berlin Wall to come down. Why do I say this? Because every day we take our freedom for granted. Every day we forget what our freedom means. Every day we go out there and we're so negative to people that we forget we need to be positive to them. You know, whether you're religious or not, to be a higher person, to be more of yourself, to trust in what you're doing. Daily reflections. You know, I like to show people my hometown. I'm very proud of my hometown in Quincy, Illinois. I'm very proud that I come from the mighty Mississippi, you know, that across the way is Hannibal, where Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens wrote all of his books. I'm proud of these things. I'm proud to raise my daughter. I'm proud of the police officers we have in my town and all the local towns. I'm proud of the sheriff's department. I am proud to know the firefighters, and I'm proud to know all the school teachers and nurses. And we forget that these are heroes every day. We forget the reason why we reflect upon them every day. Every day when my mom and I used to pray as a kid, we would pray for all these people just like I'm doing now. I'm just doing it a little bit differently. Dear God, watch out for the police officers. Dear God, watch out for the firefighters. Dear God, please watch over our teachers who are teaching us. Dear God, watch out for all the trash collectors and the janitorial staff. Dear God, watch out for all of our leaders. These are prayers we used to say with our parents every night. And now we don't even pray with our kids anymore. Now we don't even reflect. You don't have to pray with your kids if you're not religious, but you can at least reflect with them. What's good happened today? What bad happened today? You know, one reason why I think we're becoming a bully nation and now we're making a big deal about it is because we're not teaching our kids not to be bullies. And though, you know, and all of a sudden our kids go to school and they're like, hey, I can get away with anything because the teacher's more scared of me than I am of the teacher. The principal is afraid of me and the teacher because what I'm going to do is I will throw out some kind of trump card. You know, there's not a political ploy. Meaning, deck of cards, Trump. Not, I have no political interest on this whatsoever. I'm just saying, when you go into school and you don't back the teachers, you back the student. Oh, my kid, he would never do. You want to know something? I'm going to tell you right now. Not only was your kid needs to know what a belt feels like. Not only, you know, don't abuse your kid. Don't ever, ever hit your kids out of hate and anger. But a little discipline for some of these kids, especially if they're being mean to the teacher, they're being bullies. There's a reason why they're being bullied. Are you spending enough time with your kids? Are they taking out their aggressions in school? Are you being there for your kids, giving them the time they need? Oh, Jeff, I gotta work. Oh, I gotta do this. Well, good. Then your kid's not going to change. Change starts with you. Let's give more to our kids. Let's read to them. Let's write them letters. Let's, bake with them, cook with them, go outside, play in a garden with them. Me and my daughter, we're going to buy a indoor hydroponics stand to grow some vegetables this winter. Now we do hydroponics anyway, but this time these should go year round. And we're going to get that. We're going to do a little project with them. We're going to put it on here so everybody can see the little project we do. Okay? Look, tonight, make sure that you read with your kids before you go to bed. Do the homework with your kids. If you don't understand it, my God, go to YouTube and look it up. Go to Google and look it up. There's so many advances to help you as the parent learn. Call your teacher. When's the last time you just went in and said hi to the teacher or whatnot? That's a good thing. But we need to teach our kids that, you need to respect teachers. You need to respect law enforcement. You need to respect firefighters. You need to respect our veterans. You need to respect your parents. For all you that tell your kids, oh, don't listen to your mom, don't listen to your dad because we're not together, so that means you don't have to listen to them. You're wrong. Whether you're with your other half or not, or whether you're with the person you broke it off with or not, and you got kids with them, you together have to form some kind of unity, and you yourself have to bond together as parents, nothing else, to teach your kids between right and wrong. Because if you sit there and play your kid against each other, you are doing no favors for your child. You are not raising them to be better human beings. You're raising them to be a pawn in your ugly, sick game. Does my daughter's mother and I get along all the time? No, we do not. Do I want anything bad to happen to her? No, I do not. I actually think the world of her. I think she's a great human being. I think she's a great person. We have not always seen eye to eye on anything. In fact, most of the time we didn't. But she is my daughter's mother. And for that I am grateful. There's a reason why we have a child together. And my daughter will learn that she cannot play games between her mother and I, no matter what the situation is, because we will always come together as parents and make sure we make the right decisions for the right reason because of being parents. That's what being parents are all about. It's not about playing the kids against each other. It's not about he said, she said. Now you're being a bully. Now you're basically picking because you didn't get enough money in the relationship, or you didn't, oh my God, I still love that person and they don't love me no more. Or, oh my gosh, they cheated on me. Or oh my gosh, you people are so negative and your kids are drawn right in the middle of it. Knock it off. Instead, teach your kids who heroes are. Teach your kids that, hey, your mom, it's what your mom said. That's what's going to go on. Now, if it's something dangerous, of course. Or if the other parent's doing something really, really terrible, of course. But don't lie. You want to know when people start trusting you? Is when you start telling the truth. When you tell the fact, we don't get along, but she's not that bad of a person. Man, we don't get along, but man, she sure is a strong mom having 2 kids on her own. When you can admit that, then you can actually do better with your kids. Why? Because it's not about you. It's about your children. When we teach our kids who heroes are, it's not about you. It's about the police officers, firefighters, the school teachers, the people that come to us every day. It's not about you. It's about the children. And if you raise them right, they won't be bullies. If you raise them right, they'll learn if they see somebody being picked on to go stick up for that person, or at least go get a teacher. We've got our kids so programmed to not even go get a teacher anymore. They just sit there and watch like, wow, they're getting in a fight. Boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. And nobody even gets anybody anymore because they don't want to get in trouble. Look, every day in life, people are so negative. Start taking your kids to the zoo. Take them over to Soldiers and Sailors Home, Quincy, Illinois. Just in case you're from outside of Quincy or some part of the world. Soldiers and Sailors Home, yes, it's a huge veterans care facility in Quincy, Illinois, with some of the greatest nurses and nurse practitioners you could ever get around. Some of the greatest administration over there. But they have an animal park that's free. And they've got all kinds of deer in there. White-tailed deer. They've got a couple geese. Now, I'll tell you a little story about this place. My grandpa took me there when I was little. Goose bit me on the finger. I peed my pants. No joke. I sat there and I was giving bread to the geese. Everything else. Geese, I bit my finger and I peed my pants. Yes, I admit I peed my pants when I was a kid. There you go. I still go there every single year. I take my daughter there all the time. It's a calming relaxing place. But it's deer. Kids love animals. They even got a buffalo over there. Here's a question for you. And I saw this happen on Jeopardy, and I looked at this person like, oh my God, you got to be